Prayer,
Prayer, faith.
faith,
Right.
prayer. Yeah, you gotta have faith, and you gotta, you gotta give it to God.
Amen.
You just do, because ain't nobody else can take care of things. You might think you can, but you can't.
Hey everyone. Today we're going to be interviewing couples that have been married for 20 to 30 years, hearing it directly from them, what problems they had, how they overcame them, and what advice they would give to younger couples today. Please stay tuned as we're going to have some interesting conversations. So, I'm Aaron, and you guys are?
Denise,
Don.
Pleasure to meet you all. How long have y'all been married?
25 years this past month.
Wow. Has it been a journey?
A little bit of one. We're a blended family, so
Okay.
he had 3 kids and I had 2 or have 2, and so combining, those different personalities is a trip.
I could totally understand that. My wife, I had 2 kids before we were married, and I had 1, so we're a blended family as well, but we were married 6 years.
Oh, okay.
So, and I could see the struggles. I mean, what type of struggles, maybe, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Well,
what that is?
When we got married, our kids were 12. We had 2 14-year-olds, a 18-year-old, and a 21-year-old. So the 18 and 21-year-old didn't really ever live with us. Once we combined households, we moved out to Valley View. We bought acres out there and moved out there. But the 3 other ones, and having 3 teenagers, preteens, or whatever, yeah.
I could see how that may be difficult.
It was a challenge. And me and my brother, we grew up in a blended family also. When my dad remarried, he had 2, and the woman he married had 3. So we grew up with that. But, you got all those different personalities.
Right.
And, you're not my mom or you're not my dad and that kind of nonsense. So
I think a lot of people would be interested to see how you guys were able to navigate those waters. Is there any sort of advice you would have, and maybe
for
patience?
patience, and you have to back each other up.
Right.
It's like, don't come to me. We're gonna sit down as a family and maybe try to work this problem out or whatever. Don't you agree?
Endeavor to persevere.
Perseverance.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that, and just, patience, a lot of patience, and remember, what may have happened before this family unit came together,
Right. I remember
what caused either, like with us, we were both divorced, but with my brother and I, our mother died. She got killed when he was 3 and I was 5.
Sorry.
So, oh, thank you. So my dad was a widower, and so you got to kind of take that into consideration too. What kind of family dynamics went on before you came into the picture?
Right.
So,
I think it's important that what you were saying, which was that you have to focus on your relationship with your spouse, and maybe that should be the core. That's what comes first.
it does. It has to.
Because I know from experience that children, coming into that situation may be struggling to sort of accept the new circumstance. And, there are prior relationships that you have with the children where they feel like maybe that relationship should be number one. And it's hard to sort of tell the children, well, we are now married, and this relationship is sort of becoming the pillar of the relationship.
Right.
Therefore, it needs to be the priority. Is that what I'm hearing?
I agree with that 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, you have to know that you have each other's backs.
Yes.
You can't let the kids play you against each other.
And they will try.
Oh Lord, will they try?
Yes.
My daughter did it, because the ones that lived with us was my daughter and his 2 sons. So yeah, they all 3 did it.
Yes. Well, how did you all meet?
A lady I worked with in Louisville went to church with him. Her family and his family all went to the same church. And she kept telling me, I need to introduce you to Dawn. I need to introduce you to Dawn, So I finally went to church one Sunday, and we all went out to lunch together, and that was kind of it. He called, and we
fell in love.
Started dating, and took us a little while, a year and a half, to finally get married, But that's kind of how we met. So we blame it on Dorothy and Luther.
Okay. Well, that's a really cool story. What are some, I mean, other than the blended family aspect, what are some other major hurdles that you guys have had to overcome in your marriage?
Um,
And I know I'm putting you on the spot. It's hard to think of these
Finances
things.
finances can always be a problem, I mean, there's never enough. But
well, and especially if you've been single for a pretty good while, which both of us were before we married each other. It's like, okay, well, this is my money. Now we got to combine money and, make sure you don't get out of sorts with, what they might want to spend something on or you might want to spend something on. But
well, make sure that you're both financially compatible, making the same amount of money,
or at least,
because if one of you makes more than the other, they're going to say, "Hey, I'm the one doing all this," and
it can bring resentment about maybe, that, you're, well, I make more money, why, I don't want to spend it on that, things like that. So,
Right.
But we were fairly financially compatible, and
Yeah.
so that part didn't really, just figuring out our finances and, like I said, we combined two households. I had a house in Denton, he had a house in Louisville. We sold those. Like I said, we moved to Valley View, and, and that was another obstacle to kind of get over with the kids because we ripped them out of schools that they had been going to all their life pretty much. My daughter was in the Denton school district. His sons went to a Christian private school that his parents ran, but they wanted to try public school. We would have kept them in Louisville, but the boys wanted to do public school. Well, my daughter, she was not happy at all at 14 and starting high school. And I don't know if you know anything about Valley View.
I know a little bit.
It's a very small community.
Very
And
small.
back in 2001, when we got married, it was even smaller.
Wow.
So you got a 14-year-old you're throwing into high school with people she don't even know, has never known. And she's hearing impaired, so she wears hearing aids in both ears. And in a small school like that, there wasn't anybody else that was like that, So she struggled a lot with that. But
Did you all have to really maybe have some conversations with her to try and support her through
we
it?
did. And I'd always been supportive with her and stuff. But like I said, when you take them to that environment, like I said, there's nobody else like you in the school.
Right.
It was, we had some struggles there, She had some up and down times, but we got through it, as far as that part of it goes. But, it's that was a big adjustment for them, Us not so much, but obviously, but them, But, and then, they all grew up and went away and things got a whole lot easier, once they grew up. And we're both retired, obviously, now, but, he's had some health issue. He got diagnosed with cancer back in, first time 2011 and then 2021, and he's in remission now and everything. But when you start getting older and your health issues, that sometimes can, that can put a lot of pressure on a relationship too. So
Correct.
but
What are some things that you believe sort of was the glue that held you all together through those hard times?
what do you think?
uh,
Just like I said, being there for each other, prayer,
Faith.
faith,
Right.
prayer. Yeah, you got to have faith, and you got to give it to God.
Amen.
You just do, because ain't nobody else can take care of things. You might think you can, but you can't.
It's really out of our control
It is.
most of the time.
Most all the time out of our control,
Okay. So, what advice would you have for couples today, just going through struggles or anything at all? It's really an open-ended question.
Don't give up. It's a disposable world now. Everybody is too quick to just want to throw it away. Whatever it might be, a relationship or a job or whatever. Don't give up so quickly. Work on it. And in a relationship, you both have to work. It can't be just one person doing it, if you don't do that, and like I said, if you don't have faith and, you don't give things to God, and I know not everybody's going to like that part. I don't know everybody that watches your channel, but that's my belief and my faith. I was raised in church. I'm a Christian, and, if you don't put God first in everything you do, then you're pretty much doomed to fail.
Amen to that.
So
We're not primarily a religious channel, but my wife and I, we are very Jesus-believing, God-fearing
Right.
Christians, and we do put some of that into the channel.
Right, and
But I would agree 100%. The older we get and the more the struggles that we go through, we realize that we're really out of control. Our daughter got cancer at the age of like 6, and she made it, and she's okay now. But it's just, where did that come from, and how do you navigate that? It's just
exactly.
so
I mean,
you just have to pull on something, and God just somehow pulls miracles out. I just, whether it's financially, whether it's circumstances, you could just see God working through it, and just by keeping that relationship with Him, He's just going to get you through. I would
Right.
say.
Because when this second time when he got diagnosed with cancer, they came in and told him, pretty much get your house in order. You've probably got less than 2 years. Well, that was 2021. He's in remission, and he still does his checkups. But yeah, so if you don't have something to grab onto, then you're doomed. You just are.
Denise,
So
Don,
nice to meet you.
it was a pleasure to meet
Thank
you.
you. I hope
Thank
we
you so
gave
much.
you a halfway decent interview.
It was perfect.